right, good morning, class.
Good morning.
You ready to learn today?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So, before I start the lesson, one thing that has gone on in the world for centuries is war, right? So, we are going to be talking about World War II in this section. Now, for any prior knowledge or anything, who can tell me about World War II? Now?
I can tell you, Mr. Kemp, that there were two countries involved.
Hey, that's good, because I was just about to ask, at least give me what countries were involved, or some of them.
Germany.
Okay. As well.
And the United States.
All right. So there we go. There's two. There's a little more than that, but hey, that's why we talk about the prior knowledge, right? That's why I'm going to go over this whole thing with you with good answers. And can you give me any other facts?
Well, Hitler, he was the leader of Germany.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe there was the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I want to say that led to the United States getting involved.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good job. So before we go into the PowerPoint, we're going to do that. We're also going to be doing a Venn diagram. So I'll show you how to set it up, what we're going to be looking for. You're going to use your notes for the Venn diagram. Before that, though, we'll go over today's standards. So I know that's a lot right there, right? I'm going to just break it down to you simple. So the Florida Social Studies standard, that's going to be describing the effects of World War II, basically. Now, a lot of stuff went into that. Human toll. What do you think that means?
Lives lost.
Lives lost, exactly. Good job. So when you have a war, obviously you're going to lose a lot of people's lives. Soldiers and civilians. Because there's a lot of people that died in this war that weren't, in the armed forces or anything like that. They're just innocent civilians. Financial loss. Wars cost money. We'll learn about that. Physical destruction, and like you touched on, Alex, the emergence of the U.S. and Soviet Union as powers. And then, last but not least, the creation of the United Nations. So we're going to be learning about those things over the course of today and tomorrow. So, and then the learning objective for today. So after you guys have watched taken notes on the PowerPoint, you'll complete a Venn diagram. One of them is going to be allies, one of them is going to be axis, and of course in the middle is like that common ground for them, with 70% accuracy or 7 out of 10 correct facts. Okay. In the language arts standard, you're just going to be able to communicate informations, ideas, and concepts necessary for academic success in the content area of social studies, this class. All right? All right. Do you have a question on those standards?
No.
Pretty cut and dry? Yeah. All right. And with that, we will get into the PowerPoint. All right, so World War II. Like I said, a lot of lives lost in this war. The effects we still see today in today's world. Now, the person responsible for starting this whole thing, okay, who was the leader of Germany, Alex?
Hitler.
Hitler. There you go. So, important to know, January 1933, Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Okay? That's when he started ruling and having his power. You all good with that?
I got it.
Yep. All right. So, Hitler soon ordered a program of rearming Germany. All right? What does rearming mean?
That means giving guns,
Okay. Yep.
weapons.
Weapons, all that. There's Hitler right there with all his little fans.
What happened to their arms before?
World War One.
Oh,
Yep. Yep. They were on the wrong side of that. So, anything in red that you see, that's something that is important to know, okay? So Hitler wanted to form a great German civilization. You know, what was happening, not only with Germany, but the whole world, you know, they were in the Great Depression in the 20s, right? That happened after World War One. We were in a Great Depression. Their economy was tanking. Okay, their country, you know, was in shambles too. So he wanted, you know, the German civilization to consist of the superior Aryan race. Now, superior, that's one of the vocab words. Alex, what do you think that means?
what was the word?
Superior.
The best.
The best. He wanted the best of the best. Okay? Another thing that he desperately wanted, he wanted to expand German territory, right? So he wanted to take over, you know, countries, have Germany grow, and in order to do that, you're gonna need a military, right? Hitler announced the creation of the German Air Force, Luftwaffe, in 1935. That's another vocab word. So all that is German Air Force, okay? And one of the things that he did to build up his army that, you know, we had to do for World War II as a country too, the draft, right? People getting drafted. So once you turn 18, you guys are in high school right now, right? Once you were 18 back then, you're done, you're out, you know? Any questions so far?
No.
No? We're all good? And Alex, when did Hitler come into power?
Let's see. January 1933.
There we go, my man. There we go. Let's see. March 1936. So German troops marched into the Rhineland. That was a region of Germany that was demilitarized after the Treaty of Versailles. So, like you said, when they're demilitarized, you know, no more weapons, no more troops, right? You're not going to be a strong country if you are demilitarized. And Hitler drastically wanted that to change. So he wants to take over everything, right? Alex, now we're going to go into the Venn diagram, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to model it, and then, you know, you're going to do it, and I'll come over here. All right, so we are all done with our notes, class. Next thing we do for class, we gotta apply that knowledge. We gotta apply what we learned. Okay. One of the exercises that we do is a graphic organizer. This particular one is gonna be a Venn diagram. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the layout for the Venn diagram just in case you guys forgot or haven't used it in a while. And it's going to be on the allies and axis powers, okay? Art was not my thing, just to let you guys know. Allies and axis. Don't mind my drawing. But we got two circles, right? So you guys draw the two, but make sure one of them is overlapping with another, and that gives you a third circle in the middle, okay? So that's all you're gonna do. On one side, you're gonna have the allies. One side, you're gonna have the axis. Well, that was a lot better circle than me.
Be so kind, Mr. Kemp.
Man, I try. All right. So there we go. So, back in your notes, I might cut this part off too, because I think we skipped that slide, Alex.
Let's go back to it.
Yeah, so we'll go back.
I need to know about the Allied and Axis before I make this.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. Now we're probably over 10 minutes.
Yeah,
We're
10,
going.
10:48.
We're selling the shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're already at 11.
But you
I'm
should go
really-
to like 14 because we waste like a minute, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I still got to do the learning log and the quiz too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll probably cut some of that PowerPoint out. And we actually did. All right, so there's the Allied powers, Alex.
Okay. Should I write this in here?
Yeah. So we got Great Britain, U.S., Soviet Union. That was the Tehran Conference too. That was one. Oh,
What is it? Soviet Union,
Soviet Union.
Great Britain, and the United States.
Yeah. Now, where is?
What about the other side?
Okay, so and then there's Hitler's alliances. So
Fascist Italy.
yep. So yeah, Germany, Italy, and Japan. The Axis powers are formed, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's good. All right, so now that you got the Venn diagram set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna tell me what the main thing was with Hitler's alliances. Like, think about what kind of government they wanted, right? The Axis powers,
Mm-hmm.
and how their government was different from, what the alliances wanted. Okay.
Okay.
In that middle square or middle circle, you're gonna have what they had in common. So what's one thing that no matter what country it was,
They were at war.
they were at war?
Yeah.
And what else? What happens with war? I think you said it earlier.
Yeah. There's
Think about it.
the human toll goes down.
Yeah, just like the standard said, right? So that is something both sides had in common. So you can put, human toll,
Yeah.
deaths. So let's see how you're doing.
Then they were all
Get out your learning log. That can, be in your notebook too. For your learning log, I want you to write down 5 facts that you learned today that you didn't know before
Okay.
about World War II. What countries were part of the Axis powers? Write in your little book.
Go ahead.
Yep, because you guys are going to write it down and you're going to exchange with the classmates after the quiz, and then we'll go over the answers. You guys will grade each other's, okay? So yeah, what country is part of the Axis powers? A, Italy and Japan. B, Italy and China. C, Japan and the US. Or D, none of those countries up there. All right. Number 2, Hitler favored the Treaty of Versailles. True or false? Figured to throw in a little true and false. I know how much you guys love those questions. Everybody good? Okay. All right, who was not part of the Tehran Conference? Key word there, not. A, United States. B, Soviet Union. C, Great Britain. Or D, Germany. Everybody good? Why was the Battle of Stalingrad so important to the war? All right, remember, that was towards the end of the PowerPoint, guys. Battle of Stalingrad. What made it so important to World War II.